Hi, my friends and fellow TIs. You know, I've made a lot of videos, and I don't know if any of you guys go down, and scroll through the ones like throughout the place, throughout the past, you know, about the smoke detector they had in here, that when it was dark, these green beams would, be from the smoke detector and look like they're searching for something. And it would make me really hot and illuminated my skin. And, I think everything was hot. And I'd be sweating and fucking just all red. And, and I'd go out into the hallway and it'd be cool as fuck. About the walls. About the stuff on the walls, that there'd be more of it, when I come back from somewhere. And there was no holes in the wall, and it wasn't spackle. And, management didn't tell me somebody was coming in my place, and they acted like they didn't. But there'd be stuff on the walls, and it wasn't spackle. It would be some kind of rubber compound. I've talked about the changes that happened in here, and, they act like they didn't change shit. I've talked about a lot of things, and I stand by the things that I've told you about my bed and the brand new bed, how it just fell apart and looked like I've been sleeping on it for 20 years. And it felt like the coils were moving underneath me. Then another bed, me sleeping on the floor. I've, showed you proof that fucking getting burned and shocked and shit, starting from the feet and the ankles and stuff. And now I have so much permanent nerve damage, But all this stuff that I've told you, even if it sounds crazy, it's not. And there's other TIs. Oh, her name's Virginia. There's other TIs that has happened to too. But we're all in a different program. But, and I tell you like, it's like, hey, like some of us say we're in the Truman Show. Exactly. Hey, and I had learned how not to react, but I wouldn't react, but my cat would. He'd turn around, or he'd like growl and then run away under the cupboard, But, we all know that, like some of us and stuff, that we're all in a different, well, not all of us are in a different program, but there's different programs that, so we all get harassed or tortured in a different way. I also told you about, I didn't know this till later, but they were testing me for noise harassment to see if it bothered me. And this was a long time ago, before that, what do you call it? Before that, what do you call that shit? Thermal imaging. Before that thermal imaging fucking smoke detector I had. And that's what one of you guys told me it was. Okay. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. They were testing me for noise harassment, and I didn't know this till, like, way after that's what they were doing. Because, for, like, 2 weeks, the smoke alarm will go off. Not the one that goes beep, beep, beep. The one that goes, that you think, because it's connected to other people's, you think that theirs are going off too. But it would go off for no reason. At the most annoying times, when I least expected it. And me, I'm not a complainer. I don't call the police. I don't call social services and crap like that. I don't complain. So I figure, hey, it's connected to other people's, so they're hearing this too. Sooner or later, somebody's going to complain and they're going to fix it. Because it's all connected. When one goes, they're all supposed to do that. So, you know, time goes by and nobody's fucking complained. And me, I'm not a complainer. So I'm not going to complain. That's just not me. Time goes by and, you know, I had left. I'm coming back up to my door, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm unlocking it and I hear inside, it's going, you know, that loud-ass annoying sound, but it's not coming from anybody else's apartment because you'd be able to hear it. You know, me being in the hallway. It wasn't coming from anybody else's apartment. Well, anyways, my Google Photos, a while after, I find these short videos, and it's me and the smoke alarm. The smoke alarm's going somehow, quotation marks. Every time the smoke alarm would go off, my phone would go on and video me. It would video me. And I wasn't anywhere near my phone. You know, I mean, I wasn't holding it or nothing. It would video me. And these videos showed up in my Google Photos. You know, I have them, but it's in another Gmail, my safe Gmail, that I don't use. But, yeah. So, they were testing me for noise harassment. And, you know, that smoke detector, so-called smoke detector, has a lot to do with a lot of shit. Believe me. So do the plugs, the outlets, you know, a lot. A lot to do with it. You know, the outlets, the lights. The lights. I don't want to do confessions and shit and confess. But, we're not all perfect. Wow, isn't that a concept? And every fucking blue moon, well, everybody falls back, makes a mistake, gets up off their ass and moves forward. But every blue moon, you know, hey, you get me? And I go down the hallway, and the light in the hallway in front of my apartment would be a greenish color. I have an app. This is now. This is now. I have an app that, you know, for like, well, you know, anything over 45 is radiation. And, hey, when I started measuring and shit years ago, they started out over 900. Now it's normalized, but it fucking, I'm too damaged. You get me? But, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So, I was measuring it, you know, I thought I'd measure it, and, you know, it's got the thing for sound, measuring sound, shit like that. It turned from, you know, regular, you know, and it would show the conductancy of the fucking, the lights, which are usually like 2% and shit. And then it would go like really high and say there was a TB LED light, and there's a 10-watt bulb. It would say 10-watt bulb in here, and then certain places it would say, you know, and it would increase the number and say it was a TB LED light, certain places, but it wasn't the one in the lighting thing. You get me? Even over by my door, you know. So lighting has a lot to do with shit. If you're in the program I'm in, you know, the fucking plugs, the walls, you know, them acting like they don't do shit. You know what? They want you to go off in a tangent and fucking point out every little thing and fucking, like, you know, be so frustrated and sound like a nut job. So you think you're having a bad trip. So, you know, after this shit calms down and stuff, you know, you're like, oh, I was just tripping. But if you have a firm grip on reality, you know what's false and what's not. You know what you see. And people can tell you you're all the kind of crazy that they want to tell you, just to get a reaction from you and make you act more crazy. Or try to make you angry, so you'll come out of your character, or the person that you've grown to be, and retreat back into the person that you once were, you know. So, you know, and all that, doing that, makes you look like, no way. But since I have a firm grip on reality, and this doesn't make me angry, I hold no animosity towards these people. You know, I mean, you know, like I said, it's the end of my journey. I don't know how long this end of my journey is going to be until it's, like, completely done. But I'm not laying down and just dying. You know, most days I'm in bed all the time. You know, in pain, every little movement, my skin. So I'm going to take advantage of when I don't fucking hurt. Because it's just every fucking blue moon. You get me? And, you know, me not crying and being in every little step of pain and shit, you know, I'm being condemned for it. I'm being fucking condemned for it. You know, because I want a few days without pain. You get me? And, yeah, you know, shit makes you illuminate. It does. But, you know, and all this shit that I was thinking before, you know, about the color of the walls and stuff, with certain stuff, and, you know, this compound that was on the wall, you know, the stuff that, you know, I started figuring things out. But, you know, when you think certain things, then you question yourself, because sometimes you find out it's completely something else. You get me? But me, I choose to, no, they wouldn't go through all that problems for me, all that trouble and shit, and fucking seem like the whole fucking wide world and their mamas, you know. But no. You know, and, you know, I'm an anon, and I feel ashamed right now because, you know, I'm a target individual, of course, but I'm a truth seeker. And I feel so embarrassed because everybody and their mama knows about certain shit, and I don't. But, you know, my excuse, which it's the truth, is that me being a truth seeker, I get, like, you know, like, once you scratch the surface, there's more to find. And then you look that up, and then that, and then, you know, so I ended up knowing a little bit about a lot of things. You get me? But the thing is that there's certain shit that was too big for me that I didn't even want to, because once you find out certain things, you know, like, it's just, it gives me this feeling inside. You get me? And I'm angry, or I'm disappointed and sad. And the world just looks, you know, and all this technology and the shit that they're using it for, it's sad. You know, come on, artificial telepathy, M2K, they were supposed to stop that shit. Red pill, green pill, blue pill, you know what I mean? You know, they were supposed to stop that shit, the mind control. But it's not stopped. In fact, other things are using it. Other people, other technology and shit. You know, come on. Satellite terrorism, they can implant fucking dreams. You know, weird shit. You know, artificial telepathy, V2K, you know. But the thing is that I miss stuff because I wanted to miss things and stop doing my research about certain shit. Because I was getting frustrated. And I was getting, it was, you know, inside. You know, how the government's lied to us. You know, I knew they were taking away, you know, our freedom in increments. But I feel, you know, and I felt because of this program, it was just me. Because who goes without a window for 8 months and only gets, you know, gets a new window pane when the health department makes a surprise inspection? You know, so I feel like since I've been here in this city, that my civil rights have been taken away from me, and that, you know, that even speaking inside my fucking apartment to where people aren't supposed to be able to hear, and I'm supposed to have fucking privacy, I don't. You know? And how does that make me feel? And how does it make me feel to feel like I'm not free here? And I'm like the only one. I feel like I'm the only one that has been stripped of their civil rights in San Pedro, or their freedoms, or, you know, because I'm not anti-American or anti-government. America is anti-me. Government is anti-me. You know, and I feel like I've been let down. And, this program that I'm in has people that I love. You know, you can hear them. There's certain trigger words, and you can hear them. But if you've been a TI, you know that when you could hear somebody say something and shit, and you run out to fucking confront it or fucking act on it and shit, nobody be there. It's just to get a reaction. So if somebody doesn't say something to my face, it's not being said. You know, I learned to go on that, because if somebody don't knock at my door and say, you know what, fuck you, fuck what you stand for, you know, and you're this or that, it's not being said. They might be saying it, but I shouldn't, just like they shouldn't be able to hear it in my apartment, I shouldn't be able to hear them. So, you know, the program that I'm in is designed to make you second guess yourself and think you went on a trip, and, you know, that it's just you. So you look like a fucking nut. But I'm not a nut. You know, I have my issues. I do. I fucking have my issues. But, you know, on the logical side, nobody should be able to react and say things to what you're saying, because you should have privacy and, you know, freedom of speech, you know, and I'm talking about outside your residence. But inside, they can hear everything I say. Everything. Anything I do on my phone? Yeah. Anything. You know. Anything. But, people shouldn't be able to hear that. And there shouldn't be an Alexa controller on my phone but it's behind another app and its settings, and I don't have an Alexa control that I can control. It's on my phone though. You get me? I've talked about the chirps over here. You know, they have to do with whatever I do. You know, those are sensors. Am I being monitored? Yes, the fuck I am. I'm not only being monitored, you know, they monitor the shits I take in the toilet. You know, I cannot be in the bathroom without fucking all this shit going on. You know, Rucka Ali said it best. They get you when you sleep or when you brush your teeth. They sneak into your face and try to rape you when you take a leak. You know, he wasn't talking about that, but those are some good words. You know, and, you know, I guess whatever it is, they're not supposed to talk about it because, you know, anything you do, time you do anything wrong, no matter how, you know, far in between it is, you know, 4 months go by, 3 months, 2 months, you don't get any credit for those 2 months. You know, people can see that's what's happening, and it has to do with the materials in this fucking place, you know, electricity and all that shit. So they're announcing fucking what is supposed to be private to me because, you know, they're announcing what's supposed to be private to me. You know, and I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo, you know, that the government is allowing fucking people to be targeted and tortured and fucking a knife twisted in them by other people and people they love also, and you have them, you know, you're thinking the worst of them. You're thinking the worst of them. And you're reacting in a normal human fucking way. But you're reacting in your own apartment. And hey, you can go through anger and say shit that you don't mean. You can go through accusations fucking that ain't true. And all this shit in your head until you figure it out that you have to just like chill. You get me? But they take that, what you say in your apartment and shit, and use it. Hey, she was talking shit about you. Was I fucking talking shit? Did I get on the phone and talk shit to somebody about this person? Did I go out there and fucking tell somebody this or that? No. They shouldn't know that I was fucking because I talk out loud. Or at least I used to. I used to talk out loud. And fucking the shit that I said I was going to do and stuff like that. You know, I'd hear it. If you talk out loud, you hear what you say. And it's easier for you, you know, hearing yourself out loud to say to yourself, oh no, you're wrong. You know, you ain't gonna handle it like that. You know, you just sound stupid sometimes. You get what I'm saying? You know, they took the the electric meters have always been on the side of this apartment. Okay. And now I don't even think the ones that are out there work, but they're supposedly gas meters. And the electric meters are in the basement for some reason. You know, I took a video and I showed you what that basement looks like. I got a video of, you know, the hidden crawl space and shit. And fucking, how you can get into a room. You know. Yeah. And some of that stuff I didn't post because there's more I know. But since everybody and their mom can hear me verbalize it, or, you know, yeah, I try not to think about it and stuff because, you know, I try to think about other stuff so they won't know. But I know more than I've said or that I'm thinking because, this place is old. This place is old, and, you know, I just happened to stumble on a video on YouTube, and I knew it was a fucking downstairs, the basement level. And so I looked for that thing, and I found it. And, well, one time, I looked for the fucking entrance because it was in a closet. It was in a closet, and it was hidden, and you could fucking go through it to a whole different place. And then when I showed Clumsy the video I made, he goes, "Hey, I seen that same fucking place on YouTube. You know, I seen that hidden place on YouTube." I said, "Thank you." But there's more. But, you know, I don't think, you know, property rights is a big deal. Property rights is a big deal. Nobody should be able to say, "Hey, we're going to do this," and they're not telling you, on your behalf, because it's for the greater good and it's good for you. No. They shouldn't be able to do that, but the government can do it. Okay. Rucka Ali made a video. It was on net neutrality. I can't even say the word. Not neutrality, but it's... Well, anyways, he used a metaphor about PewDiePie's butthole. And he said that PewDiePie should be in charge of his own butthole. And, you know, because if people said, "Hey, you know what?" and they were able to make decisions, and what PewDiePie wanted or didn't want was obsolete. Like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to rape PewDiePie's butthole. Because it's for the greater good. And it'll be good for him. You know. So, one person goes in there and rapes PewDiePie's butthole. And, hey, you know what? Another person's like, you know, hey, they got to rape PewDiePie's butthole. So people are just going in, and PewDiePie has no say. You know, he should be able to say, "Hey, that's my butthole. I say who enters my butthole and who doesn't." You know. And the government says, "Hey, you know what? We're okay, we'll just stick the tip in. How's that?" And, you know, PewDiePie should be able to say, "Hey, I don't even want the tip of your dick in my butthole." Because once you stick in the tip, hey, PewDiePie's getting in the ass, full dick dong shit. You know what I mean? And they're raping him. People should be in control of their property. You know, hey, this is my butthole, and I don't want you in my butthole. The government is regulating. You know, and it's not cool. It's not cool. You know, for all this targeting and torturing, you know, to have something come out on the other end, it's not worth what there could be a pot of gold on the motherfucking other side, and it's not fucking worth it. It's not worth losing your fucking health for. Or some of us, you know, freaking the fuck out and being fucked up mentally over this shit. It's not worth some of us going to jail for. It's not worth it. It's not worth you thinking the worst of people, you know, and losing your faith in humanity, because humanity has lost, you know, people all over the world have lost their fucking humanity. It's not worth it. Whatever it is, you know, all money is not good money. You know, all things are not good if they're got a fucking fucked up ass way. You know, hey, it's already done with and shit. I'm fucked up. You know, my health, you know, they try to seclude you because they want you to be suspicious of everybody and be defensive. They want to seclude you and make you all by yourself, you know, but I made a decision through this, you know, I did fucking be angry and all that shit, but I finally made a decision is, you know, I'm a person that loves. And instead of not talking to this person for a while or, you know, whatever, you know, hey, if they're into this thing, you know, if I love them, I'm going to still look at them through my eyes of love. And, you know, I'm going to have faith that they're not going to hurt me. But some things hurt more than physical hurt. You get me? And it's not worth all the hurt, all the emotional fucking pain, all the physical fucking torture that they're putting you through. You know, and did they get me to sign something? No. You know, they didn't get my permission. And, you know, I have a right. And all my rights have been stomped on over here. You know, I'm treated like I have no rights at all. And I feel like, you know, I feel like they've been taken away. And Gang Stockton San Pedro, she said the same shit. And she hasn't been on for a couple of years. She said, I have no rights in San Pedro. But it's all because of being targeted. And everybody knows. And whatever, if you're in the same program I'm in, all the pain, the physical pain, and all the emotional pain and the reactions, you know, and trying to trigger you, you know, and, you know, all this fucking shit in my apartment that's been changed, try to make me go nuts and shit, and, you know, the chirp of the monitors, fucking, you know, the lights, the outlets, you know, getting shocked all the time, you know, it's not worth whatever is the outcome. Not worth it. I've turned down big money before. Big money. Big things. Because I gotta look in the mirror. You know, my dad molested me and shit. You know, on his deathbed, he asked for forgiveness. And I forgave him. But carrying that anger around for such a long time, you don't just let go of that anger, even though mentally and emotionally,